Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivam. Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda
இது காட்டுங்க. இது தெரியுதா?
பிடிச்சேன்னா நடுவில் விழுந்துச்சுன்னா அது இன்னும் தேவையான அன்னெசரி ப்ராப்ளம். விழுது 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 பிடிச்சிட்டே பேசல வழியதான்.
ரெடியா? பாடி ரத்த வருது இல்லையா இப்போ? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्याधिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलम्.
And along with me joining us, we have Srinithya Paramashivam Maharaj as well. Nithyananda Maharaj.
That all of us need to know about this, especially anyone, all the youngsters, whoever is under the age of 21. This is for all of you, whoever are watching us, all the viewers, everyone who are under the age of 21. And any parents who are watching us and they have a kid who is under the age of 21, make sure to get your kids here. They are going to have a great benefit from this session that we are having right now. And that's a really interesting session that we are going to have. So we're just going to have a look at it in a few minutes.
Yes, well, it's actually a very important point which Paramashivam Maharaj has shared. This session is not just for those who are 21, but it'll greatly benefit, as we're all in now the 21st century, and we all are, it's not that none of us are aware of the problems which teens are going through, teenagers are going through, even young adults. Even people who are old and who have lived through most of their life, many of them are facing with these problems and are not sure of their identity, of who they are and what they are trying to be. So today we're going to be talking about one of the most important things which we need to discover in our life, which only the Supreme Founder of Hinduism, only Swamiji has been able to shed the right kind of light and give us the right kind of understanding about this topic, and that is our gender. Identifying who we are, our fundamental cognition and understandings about ourselves, what we carry as our inner image about who we believe ourselves to be.
Yes. So, genders. In Hinduism, there are Paramashiva, Swamiji, describes 11 genders in Hinduism, in the scriptures. But all of us, as we are humans, we only think that there are only 5 genders, 6 genders, and we have a confusion what we are. We are confused about who we are. We don't even know exactly where we come from and what we are exactly. We always have this question, what am I? Or we always have this question inside this, that how to invent yourself. When you are small, you are just growing up, you are like 4, 5, 6, you're told, yes, you are a boy, you are a girl, you are this, you are that. So you just start believing yourself to be what the others tell you. And because of that, you start trying to see within yourself, am I really this? Am I really this? And you start labeling yourself that, yes, I am this. I must be this, because everyone are telling that I am this, I must be this. So you start believing, and you stop the great possibility that is there for you out there. You just forget that possibility, and you don't even know such a possibility exists for you in your life. So that is something that Swamiji is revealing and giving us this great experience all about itself.
Yeah, actually, so if we just see our society, they have labeled pretty much everyone under just 4 categories. You're either straight, or you're gay, or you're bisexual. But it is only Swamiji who has been able to shed light and tell all of us, actually, even we ourselves didn't know about the 11 different types of genders which are there in Hinduism, which are available to us. It is only Swamiji who can help us identify exactly who we are and who we are trying to be. As you can still say that society is becoming more and more developed, and they're becoming more and more open to these to the LGBTQ community of the world. But do they really have the right understanding about our gender? Do they really have the proper tools and teachings, knowledge about exactly what does gender even mean, and how to help someone identify what gender they are in?
Yes.
So many people go into depression, start taking drugs, not knowing how to deal with themselves, and finally, even sadly, end up committing suicide just because they are unable to identify themselves and their place in society.
Yes.
So this is one of the most important breakthroughs, important completions which Swamiji is giving to all of us, to the whole of humanity, by helping us realize exactly what is our true gender and helping us to achieve fulfillment and feel complete with our own gender.
That was such a beautiful thing that Mangala Maharaj shared now. So even if you see, like thousands of years ago, in Hinduism, in Gurukuls especially, if you see, the kids used to always be kept in an incubator. Like when they were young, they used to be kept in an incubator that the guru used to take care and protect the children and take care of the children in such a beautiful way and groom them to manifest their highest reality, manifest the highest possibility for that child. Because everyone, when they are in this, under the age of 21, are in the age of exploring themselves, are in the age of still they have the time to, they don't know what they are actually. But if you are living the life of brahmacharya, or if you are living the life of a Gurukul Balasant, you will know that that is the best life, because that is the place where the Guru incubates and takes care of you. And in this Mahaparamashivam program, Swamiji is giving exactly that. The Mahaparamashivam program that is going on. This is the theme for the tomorrow's Mahaparamashivam program itself. You will get this initiation, and Swamiji will make sure that you are having the best experience in your life, and there is nothing else that can be that is greater than this in your life that you can have.
Exactly. So as Paramashivam Maharaj had shared, this usually back in when Hinduism was a thriving civilization, when Hinduism was something which was practiced across every continent, the 56 deshas. Back then, it was compulsory, whether you were the son of a merchant, you were the son of a person who was doing a construction in the construction team, or you were the son of a king. Everyone attended the Gurukul. Everyone was sent and stayed in the Gurukul. The word Gurukul means in the Guru's house. Guru is the master, and Kula means family or house. So literally, you are part of the Guru's family for those from the age of 7 to 21. Those years, those 14 years, you are with the Guru, and the Guru helps you to identify the various. See, our gender, we ourselves, without our knowledge, our gender takes a transformation shift from the time when we grow, when we are small, till the age of 21. Swamiji says very beautifully the different steps and completion, the way the completion happens through the 4 genders. First is identifying our own body and enjoying our own body. Then enjoying, in the same gender, enjoying other people's body. And then the third is enjoying the body of the opposite sex. And then fourth is finally enjoying the whole cosmos itself. And so now with this, we're going to be learning more about the gender, exactly what is right gender, the right knowledge and right understanding about gender in Hinduism, as well as how Swamiji is going to be bringing the completion to all of our gender identities in the further segments. So please stay tuned. We'll be back with you after a short break. A more intelligently connected world leads to a brighter future. An enlightened humanity leads to a better world. During the Paramashivam program, we help people to discover their superhuman possibilities and help them to find and achieve the true purpose of their birth by giving them the techniques, practices, and methodologies from the Vedagamas, the original source scriptures of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving the ancient original Vedas and Agamas in all its glory in a user-friendly way for the modern mind. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is transforming human beings into divine beings, reviving, initiating, and replicating the 463 powers from the Agamas revealed by Paramashivam. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is not just giving solutions for every problem man faces, but is making them irrelevant to their lives by transforming human beings into divine beings.
Listen. Any argument presented by your mind, body, your present reality to establish you are not Paramashiva. You are not omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. Anything presented to prove you are not Paramashiva is illegitimate. Decide this. This is super determinism. Understand? Anything you declare as illegitimate will lose power over you, will die in few days, few minutes, maybe in few weeks, whatever few days it takes. It will not have power over you. Understand, this is the method for sudden enlightenment. This is the method for sudden enlightenment. It happens by the Shaktipada. Here Paramashiva is sitting to tell you all, you are Paramashiva, you are me, with Shaktipada and Shaktinipada.
The Dvitiya Vijnasa Krama is an extensive and thorough yoga sequence to prepare your body to receive the experience being given by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Through the yoga, which is aligned as per the source scriptures laid down by Paramashiva and the Agamas, you break all the impossibility in your body and in turn break the very cognition of impossibility. The program leads you to go beyond your human frame and limiting human ideas, which prevents you from living your highest possibility.
I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment.
Again I tell you, I am not here to prove I am God, I am here to prove you are God.
Don't wait to become divine. Register now at paramashivoham.org. A more intelligently connected world leads to a brighter future. An enlightened humanity leads to a better world. During the Paramashivam program, we help people to discover their superhuman possibilities and help them to find and achieve the true purpose of their birth by giving them the techniques, practices, and methodologies from the Vedagamas, the original source scriptures of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. A more intelligently connected world leads to a brighter future. An enlightened humanity leads to a better world. During the Paramashivam program,
We help people to discover their superhuman possibilities and help them to find and achieve the true purpose of their birth by giving them the techniques, practices, and methodologies from the Vedagamas.
Yes, Nithyananda, we're back. And so we are explaining about the different gender identities and how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is giving completion to these various gender identities through the Paramashivam program. Paramashivam Maharaj, if you could explain, just previously before we started the break, you were explaining about how these different gender identities, how the master back in when the Gurukul system was still alive, when Hinduism was still thriving, how the gender identity, how the Guru took us through that, took all individuals and how mandatory all of them went to the Gurukul, and the master beautifully took them through the step-by-step process to achieve and identify the correct gender of each person.
Yes. So this is the system that was there, the guru-disciple relationship. Till the age of 21, every being has to go to the Gurukul. All the kids, if they were prince or princess or anyone, even if they were any other class or anything else they were doing, whether they are a farmer or whether they are a king, from anyone to anyone, all of them used to go to the Gurukul system, because that is where they used to get groomed into manifesting the highest reality for themselves. Like what Swamiji is doing us to all of us in this Paramashivam program, he is giving us the same environment that we have our Guru in the Gurukul. So literally all of us become those kids for Swamiji now, and Swamiji is going to make us realize all of these great things. Breakthrough which we are going to have in our lives through this Paramashivam program, which is happening right now. So the QR code for the registration link is it's right here. Yes, the QR code for the registration is right here. So all of you can just scan the QR code and you can register yourself to the Paramashivam program and experience the highest experience of yourself and manifest the highest potential for your life. Because everyone who is here, who is watching us, every single one of you have this capability and have the potential to manifest the highest reality for yourself in the Paramashivam program, which is happening for the next till the 1st of March. So you can just scan the QR code now and register yourself for the Paramashivam program to have the highest experience of yourself.
Exactly. Another one beautiful experience which Swamiji gives to all of us through the Paramashivam program is the completion with our other identity, other gender. Now, scientifically, it is proven that though we may identify ourselves as males or we may identify ourselves as females, 51% of us are male. But if I'm in a male body, 51% of my genes, everything is a male gene. But the remaining 49% is female. The same way, in females, 51% of the genes are female genes and the remaining 49 are male genes. It is only when we come to the balance of 50-50 does the completion happen in our gender. Then we start experiencing and we become Ardhanarishwara, which is the form and Leela of Paramashiva, where half is Paramashiva and the other half is Paramashiva Shakti. So this is one of the many ways, many experiences Swamiji gives all of us through the Paramashivam program when we go through the gender completion process. In order to achieve this inner peace and balance, it is important that this gender completion happens. Many times in our life, all the different problems which we have in our life, it happens because we are not able to correctly identify who we are and what we are. We are struggling with our inner identity. Though we live in this body, this is like our closest friend. Swamiji always says our body is our closest friend, the person who we have lived our life most with. And so unless we understand our body completely, it is going to be a living hell only for us. We won't know what's going through in our body. Without understanding the person who you're living with, which is your body, without understanding them, then naturally everything which you experience in life, everything which you're going to be going through in life is going to be a living hell, literally. At the same time, when you have completion with your body, with your identity, what you identify yourself as a gender, then the same way you'll be living in complete bliss, in complete harmony, in complete completion with yourself. So the gender identity is not just for people, even if you feel that, oh no, I know my gender, I know my sexuality, there's nothing I do not need to discover. I'm pretty much clear and perfect in my life.
Yes.
But what you don't know is many of our root patterns, all the root patterns. So a root pattern is basically something which forms till the age of 7. Certain incidences, certain cognitions which we build up. And it is these cognitions, these incidences, which build our thought currents or structure, which then dictates the decisions we are going to make in life, the sufferings which we are going to go through in life. All of that is based on these root thought currents which we generate till the age of 7.
Yes.
And it is why it is very important that in the olden days in the Gurukul system, it was from this period that the disciples, the kids, stayed in the Guru's family, where the master, the Guru, can help and can give this experience. Beautifully take the disciple and prevent these root patterns, these root cognitions from taking control and hijacking their life.
That was so true, Maharaj. So, what do you think that the participants are going to get from this program if they attend tomorrow? What is the best experience do you think that they will have? I feel that all of them, whoever is going to attend the program tomorrow, are going to have the best experience of their life and the best experience that they can have in their life itself, because tomorrow is the day that they are going to literally rediscover their own identity. They're going to rediscover their gender. They won't even know such a possibility was there in them, because from the very young age they have been taught different things, different ideas put by different people, and they have explored different things about themselves, and they just don't exactly know whether that is what it is. Even now, even when they're 50, even when they're however old they are, they won't actually know if they are what actually they are living at that time. They will just be living a life which they don't know, which is if it is actually something that they are actually supposed to be doing, because people don't actually know what is the purpose of their life. This is like the beginning. Only if you know who you are, you can even like live anything after that. If you do not even actually know yourself and discover yourself, there is actually nothing that you will actually be living truly for.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, as Prem Sukumaran beautifully shared, when you go through this completion process, when you go through this whole experience, it is not just completion with your gender identity. When you start digging and going in depth in that, you'll realize that maybe some parts in your life where you're not able to manifest money, those parts in your life get completed when you discover and have completion with your gender identity. Swamiji very beautifully says many times, the problems that you're facing when you're trying to make money in your job, the problems that you're facing there, it is more or less the same problems which you're facing in terms of your health, which you're facing in terms of your relationships. It is not about the field or the external factors which are dictating whether a certain thing manifests in your life or not. Rather, it is the way you behave and respond back to life. That is what is dictating, that is what causes the pains and sufferings, and where we feel the gap between what we want to achieve in our life and what is actually happening as our reality.
Yes.
And so when we do the gender identity completion, because this is one of the fundamental root patterns, root cognitions, where early on in society we are labeled as boys, we are labeled as girls, and that identity, we start separating ourselves from actually who we truly are. Whether we truly are males, whether we truly are females, that is a subjective topic. That is something which each person has to discover on their own. By society putting those ideas in us, by society telling us that no, this is your gender, this is the way you as you are never going to have, because these are some of the things which are enhanced. Only then the true, otherwise it is only going to put you in more and more, which, as we all know, we're all seeing it happening all our lives, where people judge, people not understanding exactly what is going on, drugs, going depression, so many different calamities can be avoided just by seeing more than just the potential to what is our gender. And so all of this completion, all of this understanding can be given to you only by an avatar who himself has truly discovered exactly what is gender and is living in the ultimate balance of Ardhanarishvara. And that is why it is actually important, where we are again reiterating that this is something only Swamiji can give to you, a completion experience when only the master can give. It is like, without me knowing how to do algebra or any other mathematical equations, how am I supposed to take the class for the other kids?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Unless you know, you have the experience yourself, how are you going to share it with the rest of the world? Swamiji is the only one who, in our day, our time, who can give and manifest this experience, give this completion to all of us, to all of you as well. And so, without further ado, if you feel that, yes, there is something in my life where I need completion, there is something which I don't know, there's a problem in my life, but I know something is missing, I know something is wrong, then the Paramashivam process is for you. The Paramashivam program is for you. And the program is an ongoing program. It is not just that just because you missed the initial day when the program started, you cannot attend. You can very much well be a part of tomorrow's program. And as the QR code is being projected right here, you can please take this time and opportunity to scan the QR code and register yourself for the Paramashivam program. If the QR code is not working for you for any reason, that is perfectly alright. The website is also being linked in the description as well as being projected on the screen. You can visit the website paramashivoham.org and register yourself for the Paramashivam program.
And any of you have any doubts, any questions, anything that you want to ask us and get the clarity for, like you have some doubts, you have some questions that you want answered, anything that you have, you can put the questions in the YouTube comments or in the Facebook comments, and we will be very happy to explain and make you understand what is exactly anything, any question it can be. So Mangala Maharaj, I just wanted to ask one thing. Can you just share some incident or some where you see that exactly this is where people are missing in their gender identity? Like maybe you can take your own example of when you were growing up in Gurukul, or maybe before Gurukul when you joined. So how did you feel that this was something difficult for you? How did you feel? Because obviously when we are not with the Guru, when we are not in Gurukul or when we are not in Swamiji's presence, we will have some kind of anywhere, like when we are living in the society, people are going to be telling us different things and we are going to be listening to them, and those things are going to be getting like, they're going to get inside us and they're going to change the way we think, the way we do anything in our life, and the way we cognize the whole world, and the way we cognize even ourselves. So that is what is gender identity, the way we cognize ourselves and the way we project ourselves to the outside world. So can you just give us some example or any way so that the viewers can understand more better how the Paramashivam program is going to exactly change their life and give them a better living? And not only a better living, it's living of Swamiji himself. They are literally going to manifest Swamiji, means the Nijavatara of Paramashiva. They're going to manifest Swamiji himself in their lives when they attend the Paramashivam program. Can you just share some things like this?
Yeah, actually, now that you mention it, Maharaj, I have an experience which comes to mind. So early back, I don't remember exactly which age this was, but this was when I was very, very young. And even before I attended kindergarten. And so, we were all just very, very small kids, maybe like around the age of 5, not even 7, but just around the age of 5. And so, incident is kind of vague because it was such a long time ago. But I always feel there was a certain pain, and it is actually this pain and emotion which continuously used to remind me of certain incidents which happened, where all the kids in the class, they would make fun of me with another girl, and to actually retrospect, there isn't much I remember about the school I attended at that age. But this incident, the pain which I was inflicted upon during that time, and I myself did not understand exactly what was going on at such a young age. But the pain was so strong that that is one of the reasons why I even remember how I even attended that school. And I'm sure pretty much all of our viewers have some or the other incident like this, where early on in your life, before you even understood about gender, about life, about relationships, where this misconception, this pain of, it's more ignorance, confusion, not knowing what is happening, but being put in a situation where you're expected to react in a certain way and made fun if you're not reacting in that certain way. So after being put in such a situation, it was always very confusing for me. I never really understood how you're supposed to act, how you're supposed to live in society, how you're supposed to relate with other people. I would always, take 10 steps back, be very hesitant, and that actually led to me being more and more inclusive, more and more not an outspoken person, more and more quiet and to myself.
Yeah.
And so all of this actually changed while coming to Gurukul. And this didn't happen, as a big completion process where everyone came and shared and you were specifically, someone helped you to specifically work and come out of this pattern. But it happened in a very casual way where I didn't even realize the completion which happened until later on when when I was just looking back and introspecting and thinking about my experiences previously in my childhood towards how I am right now. It was a certain completion which just happened naturally over time, just being in the Gurukul atmosphere, Gurukul ecosystem.
Yes.
So for all of us in Gurukul, we have only one role model, and that is Swamiji.
Yes.
And so seeing Swamiji dresses up as different gods, as different goddesses, there is no restriction. Swamiji doesn't have any restrictions. He doesn't carry any of the stereotypes. That as a male, this is the way you're supposed to dress, this is the way you're supposed to talk, this is the way you're supposed to behave. As a female, these are the certain standards you're supposed to maintain, which have again been dictated not by anyone else, but just by society. And Swamiji breaks all these stereotypes. Sometimes he looks completely masculine, and some days he looks completely feminine, and some days you just don't know what to identify Swamiji as, but he is just so beautiful, so loving, and you feel so much of bliss, enjoyment, so much of completion just by even seeing Swamiji.
Yes.
And so this is because naturally all of us, our role model is Swamiji at such a young age. Seeing Swamiji continuously and imbibing that is the completion which I'm sure even you would have had a similar experience. Where,
Yes.
just by seeing Swamiji and see how Swamiji is beyond all genders. Gender is more or less like how we have different tools. We wear this jewelry, we wear the cloth, we wear the turban. Like that, gender is just another tool which Swamiji has, another design that Swamiji uses just to relate to all of us. So it is such a very beautiful competition which happened with all of us, where we understand that gender is not something which defines us, but gender to design and to add as an accessory to our beauty.
Yes. Mangala Maharaj, when you were sharing about this whole thing, your experience, I just got a click in my life as well, that how I had a breakthrough in my life. So this was something that happened to me before I joined Gurukul. That means when I was like 8 or 9 years old. So Swamiji had come to, when I was a small boy, Swamiji had come to my place where I was living with my parents, to my house. So those days Swamiji used to go around to different places, like in
house visits.
Yes, house visits.
And
yes.
the Pada Puja, the
yes,
devotees
yes,
would offer
yes.
Pada Puja to Swamiji.
Pada Puja, house visits, and all of those things that Swamiji used to personally do by himself, everything. Even now he is doing everything through us, but that was something different back then. So he had come there once, and that time, like, I had seen Swamiji before that as well in different forms, and all. I had gone to the Sarva Darshan, I had gone to many of the programs with my parents, and sat over there and just had darshan of Swamiji and came back. But when Swamiji, I had come to the place where I was living, the way I was looking at him, the way I saw him, that time I had a click in me that this is what I want to be like. This is the person who I have to live with. So just by that decision, it actually broke. So all of you can just take the decision by attending the Paramashivam program, which is coming tomorrow, It's happening every day till the 1st of March. So you can take the decision to attend the program tomorrow so that you can discover yourself. You can actually break out of whatever limiting cognitions you have about yourself, because of which you are not able to manifest the highest possibility for yourself. So you can just click the QR code, or you can just scan the QR code with your phone, or you can register for the Paramashivam program in the mahaparamashivam.org, and you can experience and manifest the highest possibility for yourself in your life. Again, I'm just a reminder to all the viewers who have just joined us. You can ask any questions you have related to the Paramashivam program, and anything that you have a doubt with, like what am I going to experience? Actually, I cannot tell exactly what you're going to experience, because for every individual, it's going to be completely different. It's not that the experience that you're going to have and another person is going to have is going to be the same. Every person, if you ask them, they're going to have something completely different from what you're going to have. Yes, of course, everything is the highest status state that Swamiji is in, the Paramashiva state. But everyone are going to experience that in different ways. So tomorrow it's going to be manifesting and identifying and completing with your gender identity itself. So that is the greatest and the most powerful thing that you can experience in your life.
Adding to what Paramashivam Maharaj had said, as we had also mentioned earlier, gender is one of the first things, one of the first societal conditions which are put upon us. And it is from there all the other root thought patterns, all the other root currents, everything starts manifesting. And so when this completion automatically happens, when this completion with your gender automatically happens, naturally everything else, all the other genders, all the other problems, relationships, whatever it is, everything gets completed automatically. Everything dissolves and becomes, it doesn't have any value in your life anymore. It becomes redundant. You yourself will be surprised with the change which is happening in life. You yourself will see how many incidents, how many things, how many responses in your life. You'll just start feeling that they don't matter in your life anymore. So that is one of the, these are not just even the main things which are going to happen. These are just some of the side effects which are going to happen as a result of the gender completion which Swamiji is going to be giving you through the Paramashivam program tomorrow. And so, without further ado, you can actually just take this opportunity, no matter how much ever we talk about it, unless you experience it, there's nothing much more we can say.
Yes.
It's like, how can you explain to a person who's blind what sight is?
Yes.
It is something which only you can experience.
Yes.
How can you explain to a person who is deaf what is hearing? It is an experience which only if you experience you can understand, and you can even relate it and talk to another person about it. Paramashivam is like that. No matter how much ever we talk, it is only when you experience it you will truly understand the benefit of it. And you don't just need to take our words for it. If you actually go to the YouTube, go to the Facebook, you will see so many hundreds of devotees giving their experiences, sharing how by attending the program, the pain which they've been having in their back for so many months, so many years has suddenly become non-existential in their life. How certain loans, I remember we had a sharing from a devotee in Tamil Nadu, where just they went and simply lit the lamp in Aranagiri Yogeshwara Sannidhi. During the time when Swamiji asked all of us to go and light the lamp in Aranagiri Yogeshwara Sannidhi, just he went and lit the lamp and he's coming out of the Arunachaleshwar temple, and he's getting a call saying that a loan which was money which he was supposed to be owed, someone owed him money which had not been paid to him for many years, that money had come back to him just after lighting the lamp in Aranagiri Yogeshwara Sannidhi. Yes. So these are some of the in unexpected ways, without not knowing from which direction it's going to come, miracles automatically just happen in the presence, in the space of Swamiji. Because as I said earlier, if you get this completion understanding of your gender, naturally it automatically completes problems in your relationships, it automatically completes problems in your health, it automatically completes problems in your working relationships, in your career, in your profession, in your outer image. So one completion doesn't just affect and bring completion in that certain aspect or field of your life. It reflects in each and every field and each and every aspect of your life. And so this is one of the reasons why we are continuously again and again saying gender, it may be a root thought current, but the experience, the completion, the benefit of it, you're going to be seeing in all the different aspects, in all the different dimensions of your life.
Yes, Maharaj. All I can say is all of you now immediately take this time to take this opportunity, I should say. This is the best opportunity all of you have to manifest the highest possibility for yourself. Now you can just leave a comment and we'll reach out to you. You can just put a comment in the social media wherever you are seeing, whichever platform that you are watching us from. You can leave a comment there and we will make sure to answer your questions and any doubts that you have, any questions that you have, anything that you want to be clarified of. We will make sure that we're answering your questions and we'll make sure that you are causing your Paramashivam in your life and experiencing the highest possibility for yourself in your life.
Yes. And so there's actually another beautiful thing which I wanted to share, which happens as a result of the gender identity completion. When you have that gender identity completion, when you completely identify and know and truly understand who you are, what you are, and how you can be from society, naturally you become a contributing member of society as well. And you having this understanding is not just enriching you. Naturally now, because you know the solution for your life, you can give the same solution to the other people around you as well. And when you do that more and more understanding, more and more completion is going to happen to you as well. This is one of the fundamental principles of what Swamiji again and again is teaching us as enriching. When you have this gender identity completion, naturally you're going to be able to help others, help so many other people in their life who are suffering from this. As we said earlier, there's so many problems which are happening in the teenage, be it in the form of pornography, be it in the form of, having sex before as minors, before reaching the proper physical maturity. So many different problems are happening in society today. And not only that, but the different bodies, different corporations, in the form of corporations, in the form of pharmaceutical industries, in the form of even governments, using this ignorance, using this confusion which all of us are facing, not just as teenagers, but even as young adults as well. And this is very much prominent and found in the media industry as well. The amount of sexual content which is being spread, the amount of explicit content which is being spread in the form of music, in the form of entertainment in various movies and TV shows, even the pharmaceutical industry, raising, as Swamiji actually had shared this very beautifully a couple of years back in the satsang, where our society today is not looking forward towards a healthy society. It is rather increasing the sexual drive of each one, but at the same time reducing the potency. So this is, as you can, back in the earlier days, where each person used to be so strong, so potent, so complete with themselves, and at the same time they did not have such a high sexual drive. They had so much of completion within themselves and with others, and so society was very balanced. You never heard of these concepts back hundreds and hundreds of years ago. All of these are coming up very in recent times, because this is not just a problem which humanity is facing. This is a problem which humanity is facing, but at the same time media, at the same time government, at the same time pharmaceutical industries, corporate industries, all of them are taking advantage of this, taking advantage of our problems and using it for their monetary gains, for whatever financial gains they want, political gains they want, for in every different field. Because of their selfish interests, they are using and preying upon the gender misunderstanding, so to say, of each of us, of each of our individuals.
Yes, Maharaj. I just wanted to share one thing. When you were saying that the media is spreading, you see so many music, so many different kinds of movies and all of that, and you see so many people, and you have a person in your life that, yes, this is a very nice person, this is a very nice music, or anything that you see, like, or listen to, anything. It might be music, it might be movies, it might be any actor that you like. They are all not established in the space of Paramashivam, in the space of Swamiji is in. So actually what happens when you listen to these kind of people and actually follow them, what happens is you start imbibing their image about themselves. You start literally becoming them, because you're constantly thinking about them and you want to become like them. So what happens is you start manifesting what they are having, whatever problems that they are having, whatever incompletions that they are having, anything that they have, you start radiating that in your being as well. So what best could happen to you in this program tomorrow is when you see Swamiji and have Swamiji's darshan. That is the best thing that can happen to you, which will cleanse everything that you have. Any incompletion will just, like, it will become redundant. You will not even see a trace of what you were before it. You will not even feel like, oh, is this how I was before attending this program? You will feel like so much difference and so much of transformation happens in just a few hours of the program that you sit in front of Swamiji and experience Swamiji himself in your life. That's
exactly. Actually, Swamiji also told that we are not individual islands, as we all like to believe, or as we have been told to believe. We are all connected very, very deeply. It's like if you take an ocean, above on the ocean, all the mountains, all the islands will look like, they're separate, and they're separated by the sea body, by the water bodies. But if you look underneath the ocean, you'll see everything is interconnected. Yes. And as Paramashivam Maharaj also shared, when you start cherishing certain celebrities, when you start cherishing whoever you cherish, naturally you start imbibing their biomemory, you start imbibing their muscle memory, and so all their incompletions, all their patterns, all their thought currents, all the negativity, not only will you imbibe their negativity, they are also going to imbibe your negativity as well. And so as you can see, even though there's certainly where we've felt incidences in life, where you yourself would have felt places and incidences in your life where out of no reason you would have felt a certain hatred towards something, or you would have suddenly, for no reason, you would have fallen into depression, and you don't know why you're going through certain ups and downs. You don't know why you're suffering with so much of mental instability and all that. This is one of the reasons, because fundamentally, as cosmos, we are all interconnected. We are all one in the space of oneness with each other. Whether we choose to accept it, whether we choose to believe it or not, is secondary. But the sooner and sooner we understand, come to reality and accept this fact, the sooner we can solve these problems and address them and be happy and blissful in that space of oneness.
Yes.
And so this is a very important point which Paramashivam Maharaj is bringing up, where in the Paramashivam Process, in the Mahaparamashivam session, you're going to be imbibing Swamiji himself directly. And so, as Swamiji is, Paramashiva, fundamentally, Swamiji is Paramashiva. He is the embodiment of superconscious energy, and there is anything which, he's like a black hole for all negativity and a big bang for the superconscious energy. Whatever negativity, everything which can be put, everything will just get absorbed by Swamiji and in the black hole. And as a big bang, Swamiji is going to be continuously only showering the superconscious energy on all of us. And so these are just glimpses, dimensions of the actual experience which you're going to be getting in the Mahaparamashivam program. See, like how Paramashivam Maharaj explained about this one thing, about the people you cherish in your inner space, the people who you look up to, who your models, or whoever they may be, subconsciously, without you even knowing, you are imbibing their thought currents, their muscle memories, their pains and sufferings. At the same time, you are giving yours to them as well. These are the kind of things which should have been taught to us at an early age, which was taught to us back in the Gurukul days, but are not being taught by anyone, not even known by anyone. And it is only through the supreme point of Hinduism, reviving Hinduism, and sharing all these truths and thought currents with us, we are even truly coming to know about these things. And so, like how this one small thing of just, you may see as a certain celebrity, a certain model, a certain person who you look up to, or world, and you may be enamored by them, awed by them, but you feel, and subconsciously without even knowing, you're attracting their patterns, you're attracting their thought currents. And these things neither you know nor we know, no one knows about these things. These are some of the things where only Swamiji can complete. Only Swamiji knows the depths of your living, depths of your being. He knows you more than you know yourself. And so that is why it is all the more important to attend the Mahaparamashivam program, where he takes care of these things. He is like the ever-loving mother. Whether we know it or not, he knows what is best for us. Yes. We may think that no, only if we get candy, only if we get chocolate, only if we get ice cream, we will be happy, only if we get that, mother is a good mother. But Swamiji is not being our, the uncle who pampers us. He's being our real mother who's taking care of us and knowing what is best for our life and doing that same thing. And also just in the previous Paramashivam program, Swamiji explained very beautifully about what is Diksha and why it is important to get the Diksha from Swamiji himself. In the Vedas, in the Agamas, there are a list of 16 Dikshas, 16 initiations, which in order to be given, in order to be granted, these initiations are given step by step in Agamas, given step by step in the Vedas. The ritualistic process, ritualistic procedure in which not only the Guru gets initiated, but the Guru is able to give this initiation to others. Not only them initiating others, but them having their disciples being able to initiate others. This is systematically documented and recorded in our Vedas and Agamas. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the only person in our time who has received all these 16 initiations as per Hinduism, who is the only person authorized as per Hinduism to give the superconscious break to all initiation to all of us.
Yes, Maharaj. So before we move on into the next upcoming segments in this program, just stay tuned for a few more minutes and you can take this time to register yourself for the Mahaparamashivam program. The QR code is now being projected on the screen right down here, and you can all register yourself for the Mahaparamashivam program right now, and we will be back in a few moments.
A more intelligently connected world leads to a brighter future. An enlightened humanity leads to a better world. During the Mahaparamashivam program, we help people to discover their superhuman possibilities and help them to find and achieve the true purpose of their birth by giving them the techniques, practices, and methodologies from the Veda Agamas, the original source scriptures of Hinduism. The The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving the ancient original Vedas and Agamas in all its glory, in a user-friendly way for the modern mind. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is transforming human beings into divine beings, reviving, initiating, and replicating the 463 powers from the Agamas revealed by Paramashiva. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is not just giving solutions for every problem man faces, but is making them irrelevant to their lives by transforming human beings into divine beings.
Listen. Any argument presented by your mind, body, your present reality to establish you are not Paramashiva. You are not omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. Anything presented to prove you are not Paramashiva is illegitimate. Decide this. This is super determinism. Understand? Anything you declare as illegitimate will lose power over you, will die in few days, few minutes, maybe in few weeks, whatever few days it takes. It will not have power over you. Understand, this is the method for sudden enlightenment. This is the method for sudden enlightenment. It happens by the Shaktipada. Here Paramashiva is sitting to tell you all, you are Paramashiva, you are me, with Shaktipada and Shaktinipada.
The Dvitiya Vijnasa Krama is an extensive and thorough yoga sequence to prepare your body to receive the experience being given by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Through the yoga, which is aligned as per the source scriptures laid down by Paramashiva and the Agamas, you break all the impossibility in your body and in turn break the very cognition of impossibility. The program leads you to go beyond your human frame and limiting human ideas, which prevents you from living your highest possibility.
I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment.
Again I tell you, I am not here to prove I am God, I am here to prove you are God.
Don't wait to become divine. Register now at paramashivoham.org.
Welcoming all the participants for watching us live on all the platforms. We're welcoming all of you back. Now, this segment is going to be so beautiful, and we're going to be having the participants who have attended the previous program who are here to share their experience with all of us. So now I welcome the participants on the panel. Nithyananda. Nithyananda. So can you just start sharing your experience, Aya? You can share your experience on how the breakthroughs that you had in the program that you attended, in the Paramashivam that you attended, what the changes Swamiji gave and what manifested in your life. How Swamiji manifested in your life and Swamiji gave the breakthroughs in your life. You can express and share your experiences on this, Aya.
Yes, you can. Actually, it would be nice if Jared, you can go ahead and introduce yourself for all our participants. We have people watching from different parts of the world, so you can go ahead and give a brief introduction about yourself, and then share your experience in the Paramashivam program, as well as the various benefits, the various experiences you've had in terms of the gender completion.
Yes. So my name is Jared Fuller. I was introduced to Swamiji in 2017. I've taken multiple programs in the past before. I did Sadashivoham program in 2019. specifically for the Paramashivam program, I can say, oh, wow. It's almost too much for me to say what Swamiji has done directly, but listening to both of you speak, it made me internalize, because you really don't realize how much growth you've had until you start to look back. And one thing that I can say is I was struggling with such self-doubt that I didn't even understand. I had no clue. And personally, sitting during darshan and doing yoga, making daily puja, doing these things completely obliterated the multiple dimensions of myself that was not serving me. And so what I mean by that is I had all these desires of like multiple desires in business, multiple desires in life, like relationships, sannyas. There's just these multiple different directions that was pulling me in so many different directions, and I didn't know really what to do, where to go, what to hold on to. I had no idea. And I feel now, as a direct effect of making daily puja to Swamiji and joining the Mahaparamashivoham programs, that, oh goodness, it's as if everything is absolutely just going in a beautiful direction, and there's not much that I have to do other than maintaining the integrity, and dropping with just sincere um surrender. Really, it allows all of these desires that I did have to just completely melt away and form into the ultimate desire now, which is really just to have Swamiji manifest through this being. And and oh goodness, like I said, you don't really cognize fully the self-doubt that you're struggling with. So like one thing that I would say to the participants who have, just been introduced to Swamiji and they're joining the program, and maybe this is just like their first week or so, they might be listening and think, oh, I'm not struggling with these things. I'm not struggling with, this gender identity. I'm not struggling with my confused reality. I know what I want. I have these desires. I know, like, we think that because we have the desire, that since the desire is there, that means that it's the truth. That means that it's real. And it's like, I don't know. It's almost as if Swamiji just like goes really close to your face and just shows you like, hey, like, yes, I know that you think that you want this, but ultimately you really want this. And so having that experience has just been just too beautiful, just almost just too beautiful and too powerful for me to consciously express into words. But I can say, joining the Mahaparamashivoham program, doing the yoga, doing the puja, showing up for darshan, it just experientially, it makes you literally live it. And that's the absolute best part about it, is that if you do give it the opportunity, there's not much that you have to think about, because you can experience it yourself. So all you really have to do is internalize it. And as you're internalizing it, you look back and you say, oh God, I didn't even know I was carrying such weight and being pulled in all these different directions. And it's just so smooth now. So it's a very beautiful experience, Maharaj.
Yeah, that was such a beautiful sharing from you about how comes, like you are giving the example, Swami just comes close to you and says that, hey, this is not what you actually are, this is where you have to go. That was like, I could relate with that so much what you said. That is what literally exactly Swamiji does. Like, when you are sitting, just you're not going to be doing anything. There is nothing like you have to put your own effort, put the effort. You have to sit in front of Swamiji and sit in deep meditation. You just have to like force yourself to do this, do that. Nothing. You just go sit in front of him, and you will just manifest everything in your life. You'll just manifest the best things in your life just by sitting in front of him. All the things that you need to do, he does it for you. You do not have to literally do anything. What do you say, Jared? Do you have to do anything in the program when you are sitting in front of Swamiji?
There's one thing. Show up. Show
That's
up. That's it. Show up, sit, keep your eyes open, That's it. And Swamiji literally just does everything else. That's it. That's all you have to do. And it's almost as if the more, I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, the more you sit with Swamiji, the more you realize, like, oh wow, like it was very hard for me to cognize that I am Paramashiva, that Paramashiva exists inside this being. And it was a difficult cognition to hold on to. But the more you just sit with Swamiji, it strengthens that to the point to where you almost just feel so sweet. You just feel so sweet being in his presence that there's nothing in the world that really can compare. So the only thing that you want to do really is to show up for darshan and to sit and to be with Swamiji. And so when I say like there's not much that you have to do, when you come from the cognition of like having to do something, it's almost as if you don't want to do it. Like if you're starving, let's say you're really, really, really hungry, and then somebody hands you a plate of food, but it was the plate of food of exactly what you wanted, exactly how much you wanted, cooked nice and warm, just the perfect plate. You're not gonna look at it as, oh, I have to eat. You're gonna look at it as, oh wow, like just utmost gratitude, because even if you didn't know that this is what you wanted, when you experience it, it's so powerful and so beautiful to the point where it's like, wow, I had no idea. So it strengthens the connection that you have with Swamiji, because you understand not only does Swamiji absolutely have everything in a way to where you don't have to do anything. Just let Swamiji do what Swamiji does and just show up and sit, and allowing that connection to grow. It creates this deep trust, and that deep trust turns into a deep love, and that deep love turns into a deep experience, and a deep experience just turns into it keeps that vicious cycle going and going and going and going. And then you just look back and you say, oh God, I didn't even realize how much growth has happened. Almost you really won't see it. Other people will tell you. Other people will say, oh wow, there's these different things about you, and you just look back, you say, oh really? Wow, I didn't even know. And then you just start to cognize, like, wow, Swamiji is really just the absolute ultimate, doing everything that needs to be done for the sake of you. And having that type of deep love is so, even me thinking about it, it just arises within me, and it's just so beautiful. All I can say, I can't even thank Swamiji enough. I cannot thank Swamiji enough. Personally, I have battled with the direction of life in which I want to go, and you realize, if you're battling with that, that means that you're not surrendering. And the only reason you're not surrendering is because you haven't experienced that deep love and fulfillment that Swamiji brings with just every breath. And experiencing that to the people who have just been introduced to Swamiji, experiencing that is the absolute like highest and best thing that you can possibly experience, because it's like, your love, your mother loves you, your father loves you, your family loves you, but knowing that the very fabric of existence itself loves you and is working for you and is conspiring for you. Oh wow, it's a very amazing experience that strengthens your integrity. And having that integrity strengthened is personally what I think was the difference between, like, living in this confused reality and then just like saying, hey, Swamiji, I'm here and I'm just going to leave it all up to you. All I have to do is show up and listen to my Guru Vak, and that's all that's required for my part. And that's what I would say.
Sharing, and like as we said earlier, you can only experience the program to truly know what you're going to be getting out of it. And there are many things in our life which we don't know we're suffering from, like how Jared beautifully shared. You don't know how far you've gone down the rabbit hole until you've attended the Paramashivam program. Thank you, Jared, for such a wonderful and very beautiful sharing. And along with us, we also have Nithyananda.
Nithyanandam. So just to, by way of introduction, I also live in Ohio, and I have known Swamiji since 2009, and I've had the opportunity to live in Adi Kailasa. Currently, I live in the Ohio Temple, Kailasa, Ohio. Even though I live here, I actually, I work outside. I do seva in the temple, but I work outside. So coming to Mahaparamashivoham, I started attending in November, and I, within a few days of attending the darshans and the day-long programs, this was a sudden shift in my life. Suddenly things started manifesting. What I was seeing was that in these darshans, Swamiji was offering boons, and I had listed out, this is where I want to change, this is what I'd like. And one by one, things started to happen. Unbelievable. I was looking back and I realized for quite a while, I had sort of been stuck. Stuck meaning, like things were moving very slowly, but this quickening started to happen, and things started to move in different directions of my life. Also, what I noticed was during the programs, with the Balasans and the facilitators there, a lot of my incompletions started to be exposed, and they started to get completed. In particular, there were some, I just realized that, it is I who get to declare the power of my own declaration. I get to say what I want to see, and that what manifests into reality. The power of my own words started becoming so apparent to me. What I'm affirming is what is the reality. Is not what I'm affirming is my reality. I get to say that is how powerful my word is. In particular, one of the cognitions I noticed was that in one of the sessions, one of the participants asked the facilitator, actually they asked Swamiji that people around me are making me feel, making me feel small. What should I do, Swamiji? They're belittling her in some way. And Swamiji, he just replied with one sentence, "Don't let that bother you." And I was like, oh my God, this is how powerful this cognition was. I saw it right away. Like suddenly I realized what people were saying and what people were doing to me and around me really doesn't matter. It's up to me to decide the significance of that. And so I started getting a series of clicks that started to open the door for me. The big issue that I was trying to resolve was, where to move in terms of my career direction. I was getting back into work, and I was trying to get some clarity what to do. And then as part of this, that was played in the Mahaparamashivam, where Swamiji says, do activities that bring sattvic ananda to you. And essentially what the message of that satsang was that, do the things that have, that are not in the competitive space, that just bring you the joy, just the things that, Swamiji encourages, whether it's working with the deities, whether it's doing puja, whether it's doing yoga, whether it's doing meditation, whether it's teaching these things. And he also said in that satsang, not only can you get the cosmic currency by doing these activities, you can also get the world's currency. Like you can find a way, get the cosmic currency, and you can get paid in the world. Now, up until then, I was carrying this limiting cognition that, in the world, I need to do what the world wants. So I need to, but suddenly I got so inspired by this message where Swamiji is saying, no, you can actually do exactly the thing that you want to do. You just need to realize it's possible, and you need to go out and try it. And I had been a yoga acharya, and I had never really seriously entertained the idea that, I can take this yoga skill and I can use that as a way to support myself. But once I heard this satsang about, do the activities that bring you sattvic ananda, and you can also get paid in the currency of not only the cosmos, but also the world's currency, I realized, okay, I'm going to now figure out a way to teach yoga and have that be as a means to support me. So so that was kind of the introduction about what happened in the November Paramashivam. And then I again started re-attending the January Paramashivam, not that many, only a few sessions. Again, what I noticed was with every little thing, the door started to open for me. In the January Paramashivam, a very deep seated incompletion that I had, essentially the session was talking about how our reactionary assumption patterns, like what is our, pay attention to how our reactionary assumption patterns influence us. And so I realized that one of the big reactionary assumption patterns that had been plaguing me all my life was that whenever I was, when I had been a young child in my family, when you're a child, your parents are your authority figures. And especially with my father, I always was very hesitant around him. I never was able to relax. I never felt comfortable to ask for what I wanted. And what happened was that I took that pattern, and when I started going to school, I projected that onto the other authority figures. I projected that authority figures in school. Once I started working, I projected that authority figures in the world of work. So I was constantly, this reactionary assumption pattern was drawing authority figures who always made me feel uncomfortable, who recognized that. And really, I was creating my reality with this reactionary assumption pattern. And the Paramashivam facilitator, this Tattvapriya, she started seeing many of these incidents, and she confirmed that it was true. And I literally on the spot that day, I decided that, I am ready to drop this pattern. I declared completion just by virtue of my declaration there, that I'm not going to allow myself to be affected by authority figures. And literally, I started seeing the changes happen all around me. In a way, I feel that even a few days prior to that, this thing started to happen because I was noticing that I was breaking my interaction pattern with all the authority figures in my life. And in the past, where I would have been afraid, I was just relaxing and just being myself. I didn't worry that much about the consequences. I just felt empowered somehow. And this is something I want to share that happened actually day before yesterday, or actually I think it happened yesterday. Was I attended the darshan with Swamiji, and then immediately after darshan, there was a big section on Smaranat Mukti, basically saying that, it's what just by remembering, it's very important what you remember, because if you remember it unconsciously, it gets you deeper into incompletion. And if you remember it consciously and relive it, you can complete with that. And the day before that, so day before yesterday, the day before I saw this, a lot of painful memories, I don't know how it came up, a lot of painful memories had come up for me, almost throughout the day. Normal, that is a very rare happening for me, but it did happen. And I wasn't able to, the click didn't happen for me that, oh my God, why am I entertaining all these incompletions? It just happened. I got into kind of a low space, and I had no idea how to deal with this, what to do. But yesterday after that Swamiji's darshan, in Smaranat Mukti, he was saying that these are the two choices. You need to, if you consciously, your memories are very important, but it's how you deal with them. If you consciously look at them, if you consciously relive them, you can complete them, and you can free yourself. And that's exactly what happened. This big painful thing that had been happening, I just simply decided, I get to decide what to do with this memory rather than go into powerlessness. Now I declare completion with this. And as simple as that, the completion happened for me. I just moved into a much more powerful space. So a lot of opportunities in my in this yoga, I was talking about how I'm going to make yoga a source of livelihood for me. Literally on a daily basis, it's being shown to me what I need to do. And simply, I don't analyze too much. I just go ahead and do it. In the past, I would have thought, can I do it? Should I do it? Should I analyze it? No, I just go forward. I do it. New door opens, new door opens, new door opens. I'm having this experience on a literally every single day. There's a new door that's opening and new questions are being resolved. And I'm just moving forward so beautifully into, creating my future. So I know I kept, so it's like a rather long explanation, but really that's what my experience with Paramashivam has been.
People, especially when people come and share their experiences, how they were, it's not just a spiritual experience or, some process, okay, I did a meditation program, I had, some Kundalini awakening. No, what Swamiji gives us in the program is directly applicable in our lives. It directly helps us function on a day-to-day basis.
Yes.
And that is what, is different from the Paramashivam program which Swamiji is conducting compared to all the other workshops, where, they promote self-help, they promote you, different ways to, change your life and all that. But this is actually the real life transformation which we're doing. There's very less which we do on our part, but it's just, more of, coming, sitting, as Jared said, all you need to do is show up. And everything else Swamiji is going to do for us.
Yes.
So this, and it's actually very unique how Swamiji doesn't do anything. He doesn't say many words. He just gives you the idea, the concept. Okay, now let's just sit in in the space of unclutching, and then it is Swamiji's energy which is just doing everything, keeping us in that space of oneness and manifesting our reality in so many unexpected ways. Things happening. You do one thing, and as I shared, the next door will open. The next door opens. The next door opens.
Yes. So I was sharing one more thing, that you just have to jump into it. You just have to decide for it. That is the only thing that you need to do. And the way you decide for it is just by scanning the QR code that is being projected on the screen and registering yourself for the Paramashivam program and attending the Paramashivam program one day of the next few days that are there, or all the days of the Paramashivam program as well. Because every day we are going to be having some in our life where Swamiji is going to manifest himself in all of us in different forms and in different ways. So there was such a beautiful sharing from you, Aya. Thank you so much for being here, and that was so beautiful, Jess.
Yes, thank you both. Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Tirupaya. Thank you for coming and sharing your experiences with all of us and with the rest of the world as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And so now with this, I think we've come to the end of today's segment. We've come to the end of today's program.
Yes.
And we've had a lot of wonderful sharings. We've shared our own experiences of how the gender competition has happened in us in various different ways through Gurukul, how the Paramashivam program, you can even just see the joy in the face of both Jared and Tirupaya.
Yes.
How they were sharing, they were not able to stop continuously. The experiences, the words, everything is just overflowing out of their being. And so this is the same thing which can happen to you. This is the same experience, or a unique experience you're also going to be in when you attend the Paramashivam program. So again, I know we've said this multiple times throughout the program, but we cannot reiterate more enough to please go ahead and register for the program for yourself and for your family members, for your near and dear ones who you think will benefit deeply from this program. And so with this, we'll see you all again tomorrow, and hopefully we will have you along with us here on the Nithyananda TV live, sharing the experience you had in the Paramashivam program. Anything else, Paramashivam Maharaj, before we conclude?
That's it, Maharaj. Just go for it, jump into it, and just register yourself for the Paramashivam program and just reinvent yourself. That's all.
Okay,
Yes,
so
Maharaj.
I think we can finish with the Purna Mantra.
Yes. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Tat Sarvam Bhagavat Sri Nithyananda Paramashiva Pastu. Om Nithyanandam. And just one more reminder to all of you, every day at this time we are going to be having the session every day. So all of you whoever wants to manifest their Paramashivam, Come back, stay tuned with us every day at this time, and we will manifest your Paramashivam for you, and you can become a part of Paramashivam and manifest your reality in your lives. Thank you, Nithyananda.
A more intelligently connected world leads to a brighter future. An enlightened humanity leads to a better world. During the Paramashivam program, we help people to discover their superhuman possibilities and help them to find and achieve the true purpose of their birth by giving them the techniques, practices, and methodologies from the Vedagamas, the original source scriptures of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving the ancient original Vedas and Agamas in all its glory in a user-friendly way for the modern mind. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is transforming human beings into divine beings, reviving, initiating, and replicating the 463 powers from the Agamas revealed by Paramashiva. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is not just giving solutions for every problem man faces, but is making them irrelevant to their lives by transforming human beings into divine beings.
Listen. Any argument presented by your mind, body, your present reality to establish you are not Paramashiva. You are not omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. Anything presented to prove you are not Paramashiva is illegitimate. Decide this. This is super determinism. Understand? Anything you declare as illegitimate will lose power over you, will die in few days, few minutes, maybe in few weeks, whatever few days it takes. It will not have power over you. Understand, this is the method for sudden enlightenment. This is the method for sudden enlightenment. It happens by the Shaktipada. Here Paramashiva is sitting to tell you all, you are Paramashiva, you are me, with Shaktipada and Shaktinipada.
The Dvitiya Vijnasa Krama is an extensive and thorough yoga sequence to prepare your body to receive the experience being given by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Through the yoga, which is aligned as per the source scriptures laid down by Paramashiva and the Agamas, you break all the impossibility in your body and in turn break the very cognition of impossibility. The program leads you to go beyond your human frame and limiting human ideas, which prevents you from living your highest possibility.
I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment.
Again I tell you, I am not here to prove I am God, I am here to prove you are God.
Don't wait to become divine. Register now at paramashivoham.org. A more intelligently connected world leads to a brighter future. An enlightened humanity